Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're talking about high-tide incorporations. I'm going through everything we got to know about this one, including the presentation they have, some of their valuation and fundamentals, and then moving on towards technical analysis. So let's jump right into this one. So high-tide. Now this one here is another Canadian cannabis company. It has operations across Canada, Europe, and the United States, and it was founded in 2009. Currently, it trades on the Canadian market and OTC as well as FWB. Now, moving on, some of the current brands they do have, including Canada Cabana, Smoke Kernel, Kush Bar, Gracity, and much more. Now, if we were to go towards their presentation before news, we get a better perspective on who they are and how they operate. So, for instance, over 10 years focused on the cannabis consumer. This is on the retail segment. They have 85 branded retail cannabis stores across Canada. Gracity.com, which is the world's best online head shop. SmokeCartel.com, which is online head shop since 2013, and CBDcity.com, which is a CBD e-shop launched back in May 2020. And towards their wholesale segments, they have designing and manufacturing and distributing proprietary consumption, accessories, and cannabis lifestyle production. This one here is violent distribution with over 5,000 SKUs featuring 10 celebrity licenses. Now, Aurora and Euphoria are strategically invested in high-tide. And going down a little bit towards their earnings over the few last quarters, we were to look into Q1 2020 sitting at 13.7 million, that's Canadian dollars. Second quarter, we're looking into 20. Third and fourth around 24 to 25. In the first quarter 2021, record sale around $38 million. Now that is a record for them. And if we were to look into the adjusted EBITDA, you're looking into a first quarter 2020 that wasn't profitable, around 822,000, to second quarter 2020, you're looking into 1.8 million, third quarter 2020, 3.4, fourth quarter 3.6, and the first quarter 2021, $4.6 million on an adjusted EBITDA. And so this one here is one of the best in terms of the EBITDA that I've seen in terms of cannabis itself. However, the net loss here, you're looking into a massive $16.8 million in the last quarter. Now that is problematic for one reason, is that you're looking into not a consistent net income net loss. You're looking into a first quarter 2020 where you're looking into around $4 million loss, and then second quarter 2020, even though revenue increased substantially and adjusted EBITDA was positive, you almost had $5 million of loss. And the third quarter 2020, now the adjusted EBITDA was closer towards the net income, and the net income here was around $4 million. Now fourth quarter, you're seeing almost the same amount of revenue, although the net income went down, a difference of almost $5 million from the last quarter. First quarter 2021, you're looking at a whopping $16.8 million of loss. Now, this kind of breaks down towards some of the following. You're looking into cash. Their cash is substantial. You're looking at around $16.5 million in the cash in the current quarter. Now, if they continue to keep burning cash the same amount, that means they run out of cash in this quarter, the end of this quarter. Although I really doubt that would be the case. The current total assets, you're looking into $166 million, massively higher from what you actually see in the previous quarters. Now, the total current liabilities and current and non-current liabilities, you're looking somewhere around $110 million as we speak currently, which means that they don't have enough cash to fully pay that current liability and the non-current liability, which means that they would need to raise some cash. Now, some other things that we're looking at is that they do have basically under retail, brick and mortar, and online in that sense. So for brick and mortar cannabis and accessories, you're looking at Canada Cabana, New Leaf Cannabis, Meta Cannabis, and Kush Bar. Now from online accessories only, you're looking at Gracity and Smoke Cartel. From a CBD focused perspective, you're looking at CBD City, for instance. Now, also on a wholesale, you're looking at Valiant Distributors. So they do have a well-distributed kind of strategy, and some of the strategies and visions they have. So the vision here is to provide a full spectrum and the best-in-class products for cannabis and basically accessories, etc. Now, the strategy here is to be differentiated than other companies in the market, accretive growth, and continuous research and development. So further goals for short term, They're looking to have a continue constructing and opening more retail cannabis stores, converting concept into fully executed projects, establish a retail presence in all applicable Canadian provinces, hire talented people to help lead, operate, and grow the organization, foster positive relationships with governments and local communities. Now, on the longer term, build great brands, develop responsible customer relationships, play a key role in shaping a world-leading Canadian cannabis industry, deliver shareholders an industry-leading return on investment, and earn premiums multiple as a company or a public company through strategic stewardship, disciplined capital allocation, and strong governance. Now, some of the milestones that we looked at. So back in 2009, Smoker's Corner was founded, and then RGR Canada was founded in later on. 2012, you're looking at famous brands, was co-founded. 2018, High Tide was founded. Canna Cabana was founded in 2018 as well. Kush Park was also co-founded. Gracity acquired back between 2018 and 2019. And looking at a listed HITI on December 17, 2018, and Aurora invested around $10 million in them. And around 2019, Aferia invested around $4.5 million with them. Now, CBD City was founded in 2020, Meta Growth acquired in 2020, and it was also listed on the Canadian exchange market looking on November 19th, 2020. Now, currently, they have a $23 million bought deal equity financing that was in 2020, and they had Smoke Cartel acquired in 2020. Another as well, 85 branded retail cannabis stores across Canada by end of 2020. And here's some of the recent highlights, and I will go through these in a bit. But these ones here are some of the ones that they see that they are the most important. For instance, April 26, 2021. What you see here is High Tide expands Ontario presence with new Toronto store making it the 85th location across Canada. The next one here is High Tide files final base shelf perspective to raise $100 million in one or more transactions. This is what I'm talking about in terms of raising enough cash to pay off their debt as well as to maintain their losses. They haven't been 100% positive in terms of net cash flow, but that is also part of the strategy of opening the 85 locations and expanding their branding, retail locations, etc. April 8th, High Tide extends maturity rate date and reduces interest rate on convertible debt with strategic partner. March 31st, 2021, High Tide reports first quarter 2021 financial results with 179% increase in revenue and record adjusted EBITDA of $4.6 million. We covered that. March 24th, 2021, High Tide closes acquisition of leading U.S. e-commerce retailer Smoke Cartel. March 2nd, 2021, High Tide reports 2020 financial results featuring 166% in revenue, a record adjusted EBITDA of $8 million. High Tide significantly improved balance sheets of further $20 million of debt has converted in equity back in February 23rd, 2021. And another thing here is they had another $23 million bought deal equity financing February 22nd. January 7th, they had changed or extended the maturity date and reduced interest cost of $20 million of credit facility. December 9th, they announced applications to list on NASDAQ. So they have basically intentions to go on towards the NASDAQ market back on December 9th. And so this application takes some time to go through. So you can expect this one to go ahead and be listed on NASDAQ sometime soon. November 18th, High Tide completes acquisition of Meta Growth, and it basically keeps going on towards United wholesale business under Variant Distribution and appoints Vice President Capital Markets. And if you're to look into this one here, the rising tide of the cannabis, in terms of the retail cannabis market size, you're looking into somewhere around $4 billion in 2021, and they see themselves really positioning themselves across Canada and as well in the US and Europe to kind of capture this kind of market cap or market size, although that's just the market size of the Canadian market being around $4 billion for cannabis. Now, the other thing we're looking at is that the Canadian cannabis shops in Canada One Stop, you're looking into 47 locations that are now open in provinces, Alberta, Ontario, and Saskatchewan. And you're looking into the highest average rating by independent customer reviews among all retail chains, an industry-leading employee training program resulting in premier customer experience, and centralized logistics management built on data, and target location sizes are somewhere from 1,500 to 2,250 square feet. And moving on, you're looking into the new leaf of cannabis and Meta Cannabis Co. and is acquired as a part of the Meta Growth in November 2020. And they do have additional stores over there, you see as well. And they also do have some transactions rationale. So currently, in terms of as of September 20, so this is a little bit outdated. They basically just copied a bit of what they had previously. 62 store count. No, this is up to 85. And the target by the end of the year is to have 115 store counts. This is to growth. This is to realize their growth plan, which includes nearly doubling the current footprint from 2020 on 2021. And this is mainly to have the biggest footprint in Canada in terms of the cannabis market. 9 Ontario stores. We're looking at 65,000 number of reward members, and the list goes on in there. So we kind of get a little bit of perspective on who they are, what they're looking for, etc. They do have some different brands, as well the celebrity collabs in that sense. So for instance, celebrity licenses, Snoop Dogg Pounds, Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, Trailer Park Boys, Kevin Smith, Guns N' Roses, Hellboy, The Beach Bomb, The Radio Days, The Fabulous Furry Frank Brothers, and Jane West. Now, a quick another thing here is manufacturing and distribution to more than 80% of customers in the US, with key supplier to Ontario Cannabis Store. And moving on towards some of the news that might actually seen this one here before. So I'm gonna skip the ones we've read before. So for instance, the Toronto location, but right here you're looking into the reporting around $775,000 in sales just on 420, and looking into also them marking the 420 as a holiday by launching a new store in Edson, Alberta. You're looking as well into High Tide expanding into Ottawa with launch of Bywords Market Retail Cannabis Store. And another thing here as well is they've had some comments regarding the 420, regarding growth, etc. I'm not going to go through that just to not bore you all. And then the next thing here is them opening other retail stores, and they give you good updates around here. They continue to do so. There's a bunch of news. I think they come out with news every other week or so, and there's multiple of them. And it looks like with every store being opened, they do also announce it up as you get to see, but there's nothing here that perhaps would reveal something that we haven't covered yet. Now, the biggest aspect of this one here is relating towards their NASDAQ application and what perhaps some updates on that. So back it's on December 9th, 2020, they did announce that they are looking to go towards the US market into the NASDAQ market. And there's no exact deadline or exact date that we can anticipate that on, but it's been around 5 months or so. So you might actually start expecting some details to come out of this one. Now, if you'd like to see more contents like this, make sure to scroll down below, click that like button, and if you'd like to join our Discord, you can click show more and join my Discord literally right here. Totally free, there's no commitments. You can also click that subscribe button, which should be somewhere around here. Now, we can move on now towards a bit of the valuations. The current price over book is 514. The current SP 500 price over book is somewhere closer to around 450. So it's on par on the price over book. Now on the price over sales of 321, it is also on par with the price over sales with the market itself. And another thing here in terms of the enterprise value, which looks to be different than the price over book, because some of these might be a bit trailing. So you get to see the market cap is close to the enterprise value, which is a good thing. And a lot of this one here has been moving on the understanding that this one has a lot of growth potential forward, and that's what they're doing. That's why their books aren't always as perfect, and they've been taking a bit more depth relating towards their expansions of their current locations, and almost $100 million in shelf sitting right there that can be put into offerings. So let's move on towards technical analysis now. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint, what we're going to look at first here is the 1 week perspective. And on this 1 week perspective, we start looking at the MACD that is diving a little bit downwards. Now, this is usually an indication for a bearish reversal. However, we did receive a little bit of a red day today on Friday. Now, in terms of momentum, it is slipping as well below negative 0.08. So that's a little bit of a dangerous sign that might indicate perhaps we might be in an accumulation zone or a negative zone. Now, currently on the billion percent R, it's still closer towards the oversold section, but it's still sitting somewhere around the neutral. The billion percent R is similar to an RSI indicator. The ADX doesn't show us much. Now, the moving averages are a little bit bearish in the sense that the 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA. Now, on a one-day perspective, what we get here is that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, which is a good indication. The next thing is that the 50 SMA is above the 200 SMA, and that's bullish. Now, currently, it's in a trading action zone where most positive reversals occur between the 55 cents and the 51 cents. Now, on the ADX itself, you're looking at 1770, which doesn't show much there, but on a Williams R, it does show that it's sitting in neutral, neither overbought or oversold. And when we're looking into an MACD here, it looks like it's stable on the positive side, perhaps still attempting a negative reversal because of 2 red days following one another, but in that sense, momentum is 0.03. Now, this balancing out with a 1 week perspective, you start seeing things are averaging out in terms of more of an accumulation. Now, again, looking at supports and resistances, that will give us a better indication. Nonetheless, the moving average bands seem to be dropping a little bit below. The top right now is 59 cents, the middle is 53 cents, and the bottom is sitting at 48 cents. Both stochastic fast and stochastic slow are both telling you to be careful for a pullback. The current Fibonacci retracements show that there is a support sitting at 49 cents, below their 40 cents, below their 29 cents, and then 10 cents. Significant resistances are 59 cents, 72 cents, and 89 cents. Now, from a price line action, you're seeing a significant support sitting at 53 cents, 50 cents, 47 cents, and then downwards to 46. And then we start looking into the 41, and as well, way further down to 35. And then the list goes on towards 24, and then to 20 cents. Significant resistances you're looking into currently 55 cents. Above there, you're looking into 59, 58 cents. 61 cents, and then 67 cents, followed by 73 cents, and then from there on towards the 78 cents. And then it comes to the question to Ed, what do you think about this one? It's definitely interesting, and there's also that potential of going towards the NASDAQ market in terms of their application. It's still processing, and so an understanding of that and how stocks usually behave towards the NASDAQ news, you start expecting for it to continue moving on. Now, there's a lot of growth that they're trying to do, and from that, start expecting that perhaps some offerings are very much possible. That $100 million shelf that they have, that will be soon to an offering at some point in time. And they will pay off for the 85 stores that they're looking for and additional stores that they will be opening all the way in 2021. They are more of a growth strategy, and I think that we might actually start seeing better return on investments going on in 2022 rather than in 2021. And especially if it does debut on NASDAQ sometime soon. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.